An airline pilot, who didn't realize his microphone was live, said to the co-pilot, "Man, I could sure use a hot cup of coffee and a from that red-headed flight attendant." That statement was heard throughout the plane, and the furious red-headed flight attendant unbuckled her seatbelt and stormed off toward the cockpit. Seeing this, a passenger shouts, Miss, you forgot the coffee." A flight is on its way to Sydney when a blonde in economy class gets up, moves to the first class section, and sits down. The flight attendant watches her do this and asks to see her ticket. She then tells the blonde that she paid for economy class and that she will have to sit in the back. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Sydney, and I'm staying right here." The flight attendant goes into the cockpit and tells the pilot and the co-pilot that there is a blonde bimbo sitting in first class that belongs in economy and won't move back to her seat. The co-pilot goes back to the blonde and tries to explain that because she only paid for the economy, she will have to leave and return to her seat. The blonde replies, "I'm blonde, I'm beautiful, I'm going to Sydney, and I'm staying right here." The co-pilot tells the pilot that he probably should have the police waiting when they land to arrest this blonde woman who won't listen to reason. The pilot says, "You say she is a blonde? I'll handle this, I'm married to a blonde. I speak blonde." He goes back to the blonde and whispers in her ear, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and gets up and goes back to her seat in economy. The flight attendant and co-pilot were amazed and asked him what he said to make her move without any fuss. "I told her, first class isn't going to Sydney." As a teenager, I had a summer job pumping gas. One week, an older guy drove up and said he wanted a fill-up. Then he got out of the car with an umbrella, opened it, and followed me around as I worked, holding the umbrella over my head to keep the sun off me. I awkwardly thanked him as he paid his tab and drove away. A week later, he came back for a fill-up. Again, he got out of the car with the umbrella and opened it, but this time he just stood there watching me work. I asked, "So you're not going to use that to keep the sun off me this time?" And he retorted, "Watch it, young man. Fuel me once, shame on you. Fuel me twice, shade on me."